I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. Flights, yeah, okay. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. Drinking so much, I might motherfucking pass out. Hating on me, I give a fuck about your lash out. Doing so much magic that I gotta fucking cast out. Money like the government, I'm all about my cash cow. When it comes to money, 50 cent, I never back down. Promise it like an audience, you get clapped now. I'll turn your hot potato head into a hash brown. Yeah, in the air, I'm about to chill. Lie to the end, never care about the wheels. Creating hella chakras in the sky like helicopters. If a nigga die, I would never care about the wheel, yeah. Well, holla at me, man, I'll let you know. That probably wasn't me, but yeah. I'm the energy that'll take a long time just to create. Can't even celebrate it like a big day. And even if it's gonna be a heat wave, and life is moving faster than a freeway. That shit, they get you tipsy more than T-Pain. You're by yourself, you never got a teammate. Yeah, my name is Doelo because it's the word I predate. Yeah, don't wanna put your cat out, now you're on your way. Straight to the half house, looking like a plate. You about to get smashed now, you are not a saint. So tell me what you mad about, cause listen, nigga, I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. Flies, yeah, okay. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. Flies, yeah, okay, yeah. I know what you mad about. You got a lot of problems, but you need to hash out. Try to hide your pain, that's the reason why you lash out. Girls got issues, cause they never have their bad out. Never get a umbrella when it's getting bad out. I ain't putting gas light, but I'm spitting gas down. Yeah, fuck the cipher in the meta. Yeah, I can't see it like a melodrama. Yeah, the dollar make it fly through any weather. You wasn't putting in the work, you need some better effort. Yeah, in a distant sky, I'ma tell your girl now it's your time. Yeah, need a couple seconds. I don't really give a fuck about your fucking exes. I'ma tell you right now, I'm the one to mess with. Tell you what I do if you getting bucket naked. Yeah, I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. Flies, yeah, okay. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. Flies, yeah, okay. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. Flies, yeah, okay. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. I don't give a fuck, I might motherfucking crash out. Flies, yeah, okay.
I'm a motherfucking crash. Motherfucking crash. I might motherfucking crash. Oh, other than that, oh, you're jumping in the matrix. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mr. Anderson, got a meeting. Oh, I said Mr. Anderson. Oh, no, other than that. Mr. Anderson. Oh, other than that, bitch. Whole world in the matrix. Whole world. Whole world. The same song. Now check this out. We got Mars. It's gonna be a red sky. But yeah, we got Mars and Gemini, Speedy Gonzalez energy all over the goddamn place and things of that nature that we're gonna have to slow down. You might have to play my videos on goddamn, for 0.4, let's say 0.2 or something like that to slow down my, you know what I'm saying? It might even be that fast, a rapid pace, Speedy Gonzalez brains that we all gonna have when it comes out our throat chakras. Pause. So let's check this out. We also got and it's in 0 degrees. So we dealing with this trine energy between the moon right now, because the moon is fresh in Aquarius right now. So, we get retarded and stuff like that and think right, airheaded, you know what I'm saying? We might associate with the wrong mental concepts and stuff like that, lead us in jail. So we want to make sure we ain't getting no mental concepts that we don't need to be associated with that lead us in jail or lead us in hell, you know what I'm saying? Or some type of stuff, or lead our hands going upside maybe a family member head or something like our face or a friend, or you know what I'm saying? We got to protect ourselves right now. Be careful. You know what I'm saying? Any string of thought could lead you into making a mistake or you being a vessel for someone else to realize they made a mistake. I'd rather for that end of it, but you know what I'm saying? But if you could not participate in either end, cool, you good to go. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather the other one, though. If anyone, I'd rather the other one. You know what I'm saying? You be the vessel for someone else to be like, oops, I made a mistake. Good. At least you good to go a little bit. So, you don't have to participate at all, but that one always like the better choice or whatever like that. Now, for the most part, like I said, this is opposing the Mercury and Venus energy too. So we had some narky energy, Mercury going in a retrograde around the 4th August. So right now we got to do some kind of energy where we got to like harvest or whatever the case, or practicalize or plan to set up. Because it's like anytime we have in a retrograde, it's like a mini fall circumstance, a mini cuffing circumstance. But it may not necessarily mean externally cuffing a person, place, or thing, but it mean like a thought that you can hold on to when all these previous circumstances start to pop back up in your face again, especially the things that you probably didn't take care of and you probably think it wasn't that important. These things gonna pop back up and block you from doing things important, or manifest and accumulate to becoming important, or letting something small become bigger than what it actually is. And during a retrograde, we're forced to spend more time dealing with that than being in a situation of being able to sweep up under the rug. So all previous mind states come back, sometimes relationships come back, or the thought of it and how you went about it and what you need to adjust in order to, formate in your current relationship or future wise. But basically those be retrogrades in a nutshell. And it's gonna go a little bit in the Virgo and then back up into back up into goddammit Leo, and being some energy where we have to worry about what we was over boasting about, because when it goes into Virgo a little bit or close to it, it's going to start giving us that energy of, do we have something to work on from what we was expressing? Then if you planted bad seeds and you was doing bullshit, when it swing back into Leo, you're not going to like the light that you created for yourself, or the stage you created for yourself, and everything that you was going for is now that you're like worrying about, or you're going to start worrying about. So be aware of that too. Thank you so much for the donation. Jesus Flights, I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, bro. Shit. I don't even know why I do that. You know what I'm saying? I think just me alone, sometimes YouTube don't be caring, because I be seeing how they be doing certain things. So I don't even know why I try to go off camera. But yeah, so when we start talking about Mars for all signs, now what area of life you're gonna have it in, we're gonna break down the houses to let you know where it's sped up and where you may start to leap or jump before actually understanding what's going on or understanding the environment. So you may just jump based off word of mouth. You could be told something. You could have somebody tell you to quit your job because they can guarantee you in this job or something like that. And then you'll quit that job and try to jump into the energy. And based off their word of mouth, it wasn't even guaranteed. They actually had the wrong idea about something. So you got to be careful during this time that you just don't jump the gun based upon some word of mouth type shit in general. And then we have the moon in Aquarius. You might get more distracted into that excited feeling of being associated with something, being a part of something. And anytime we're doing something a little bit more new than what we was doing familiar or stuck in, it's a form of refreshing. So you could get distracted with the refreshing energy of doing something new, other than having that discipline of seeing whatever you're getting ready to jump into is proper or not. And this is how a lot of people make mistakes or get taken advantage of, purely being more distracted with the excitement of involving themselves, other than checking out all the scenarios and the parameters and things of that nature, and end up in the same situation they was in previously without understanding why. And a lot of times it's because when you get more distracted with the filtering glasses of excitement, you're not able to see the regular things you would see as if you was already familiar with something, or something was already fulfilled, or you already in a comfort zone. So you're able to look at other things other than the thing that gravitated to you towards the thing in the first place. But when we're allowed to add, when we know how to add that equilibrium even into new scenarios and stuff like that, it's a healthy way, or the godly way, because it's still a form of baggage, but it's a godly way of baggage, because you're not allowing it to affect or dictate your actions, but you also not throwing it completely in the back seat, because it may have qualities there that show you characteristics that you may need to see to observe in your current situation that probably can save you. So it's just about using equilibrium and having intelligence and knowing where to pick here and knowing what to leave behind. But all of these things are your experiences. So it's something you need to accumulate on your mind, and don't just throw it away. But other than that, we it's going to be with this Mars energy, us being Speedy Gonzalez and shit when it comes to each area of our life that we get ready to get into as far as the houses. So if you got Gemini in the first house, this puts you in a situation where your personal life speed up, your personal issues, personal affairs, personal insecurities, even your personal interests. So this could be a time for Gemini ascendants to go through an extreme personal trauma that they think everything is falling. And it could be the very same thing if they got right people around them, or if they're strong enough as a spirit, that could turn into their personal power or personal creativity. So even though previously Gemini ascendants may go through a situation in just another day, situations can be transmuted in your favor during this particular time. So you can get lit off going. And I'm not saying it's always negative, but everybody go through things negative. At this time, Gemini ascendants can go through something negative and get lit off of it. Now, if they use their mouthpiece right, and that depends on the sun and moon, if it's going to actually allow all the full freeness of the qualities of the ascendant to pour through it, because your sun and your moon is going to be what you're doing first. Your ascendant is just how you appear to be, and it's your experiences, your personal experiences. So depending on if you go through a negative situation, right, it could be also something that gives you the chance to turn the tables on something, make people realize what they didn't realize before, and whatever you're getting challenged on, maybe on the basis of them being wrong in the first place. And this is get ready to set up the right situation so you can use your mouthpiece for the personal situation you're dealing with this person in your personal life, to go ahead and flip the way how the situation is seen, even if you was on the opposite side of things. Now, it doesn't always have to be negative, though. It could be positive too. So when we come into the ascendant and you got Mars there, it could speed up your personal interest in general and give you a little bit more courage to open your mouth or take action towards the things that you was overthinking and analyzing previously. And thinking with the Gemini ascendant that you're making the right decision to do so. So a lot of situations you may have played out as two-faced it, and then it might be another situations that you play out kind of like over analyzing and thinking that you making the right decision, but it make other people look at you like maybe you're over analyzing too much, or make, all that Gemini energy that somehow play out and shit like that. I'm saying you might have what was that? You might have misspelled that way. Did you? Other than that, yeah, flight morning, everybody. Well, don't listen to my mouth. Don't listen to my mouth. But yeah, when we start talking about this, the Mars energy in general is gonna have us all some Speedy Gonzalez energy. And if it's in your first house, that's dealing with your personal issues, personal affairs, or your personal insecurities and your personal interests. Now, when it comes to Mars in the second house, now if you got Gemini in the second house, you're getting ready to experience having to get prepared. Well, if you got Gemini in the second house, you're getting ready to have to get prepared for all this passion, motivation, all this desire, all this things that come in when it comes to your values. And then here's the thing, Mars don't like being in the second house. So you might even feel some extra Speedy Gonzalez energy and make all kind of sense out of it and shit like that. So you got to keep that in mind. When it comes to your values, the second house, be careful anytime Mars is transiting there. And then you got Gemini there already. So you already think a lot about the people, places, and things that you value, where you plant seeds at, how you built your self-esteem, your creative attributes and stuff like that. You think a whole lot. Sometimes you talk yourself out of situations thinking so much or talking too much and stuff. With Mars coming here, Mars make a person passionately invested into the values. And it can become very destructive because Mars is debilitated in the second house. Mars debilitated in the second, falls in the fourth, and the next debilitation is in the seventh. So anytime it's in those areas and it's going to be in your second house, it may make you too passionate over something you value, and you could destroy it, you could lose it, you can come across too extreme. It could dissipate, it could be taken from you and put you in some type of competition mode, and now you're distracted in that. So you have to be careful with Mars going through the second house, and you got Gemini there right now, because it could speed up some unnecessary things. You might want something now, and then you start manipulating your way into it by talking, and it actually sets you up in a more worse situation than a positive one. So you got to be careful with Gemini in the second house and Mars getting ready to prepare you, because it's still going to be lingering right now over your first house. But based upon it being the sign of your second house, you're going to be seeing all those qualities that you got to take from the experiences of the first house and make sure you're setting yourself up for the second house. So when it fully get there, you automatically know what you was dealing with. you don't got to get hit blindsided based upon being too distracted of how it's playing out in your first house and not seeing the qualities of how it's getting ready to play out in your second house. So it's still going to have those reminiscences of the second house. You just may get too distracted with how it's playing out in your first house while it's still in the early degrees of Gemini. And let's say your second house maybe 10 degrees and over Gemini. So it ain't going to be quite there yet until Mars actually get into 10 degrees and so on and so forth. So it's going to be having reminiscences of the second house filtered through how it's playing out in the first house. So it may be something you're personally going through that you may have to learn how to value that you wasn't valuing before. And that's going to be the reminiscences of the second house. And if you're not paying attention to that person, place, or thing, you're going to be too distracted with everything else is bringing in the first house. And then when it gets into the actual second house, like if you got Gemini 10 degrees and it gets in that second house, once Mars get into 10 degrees Gemini, it's going to start to show you what you should have been paying attention to. And you might got to work harder to go to get it now. You see what I'm saying? So that's how it play out. So it's always going to show you a sign. It's almost like doing a bunch of negative shit. And God will sit there and show you when you're going to end up in a negative outcome. And some people don't take the first thing God threw at them, don't take the second one, and then it'd be like almost to the third or the fourth, and it'd be too late then, and then that's when someone want God to open up the hell's kitchen window again. So it'd be like that too. So be careful if you got the Gemini in the second house. If you got Gemini in the third house, now this is the house it likes to be in, but at the same time, it's still Mars. So it's just going to have people wanting to argue. If you like people that you're close to, friends, family, associates, wanting to argue over nonsense, make up stuff to argue about, be frustrated with shit they wasn't frustrated with before, like a whole bunch of bullshit and things of that nature. If you're around a bunch of reprobates. If you ain't around a bunch of reprobates, you might have a bunch of friends or people that get lost in their own mind. So you might still be connected with these people, but you can see how a person may have their own problems that they're overthinking about, and they may not need as much assistance or want to talk as much as they did, but it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with a person is seeing stuff like we all seeing things in our life, and a person kind of need a little bit more time to like think about that shit though. So even if you planted good seeds, and let's say you got Gemini in the third house and you got friends that you know you cool with, but you're starting to feel a little distant. Don't take that negative right now. You got Gemini and Mars in the third house. It don't got nothing to do with you. So it's something they're passionately or transforming, and just like you, give them that grace. They need time to think about that shit. So when you in need or you want to conversate and they ain't there at that same particular time to kind of make you feel weird, like it got something to do with you, don't do that at this time. When you got, because Gemini supposed to be in the third house. So more positive things than negative. Like go, I don't want to say that, but let's say when you a person who got all the natural houses, like it ain't just totally Libra opposite and stuff. Sometimes the same situations you go through like others, you get more positive ends than negative ends. And like I seen that through charts sometimes, the amount of readings I did over the time. I seen when a person either got Gemini, Aries, or Gemini, Aries, or like, wait a minute. Yeah, no, Aries, Pisces, or Taurus, like that in between, because Aries is the original, but it could go slightly off. You could have a Taurus ascendant or a Pisces ascendant. I seen out of all the readings I did, it's certain situations where I see how one person, everybody go through the same shit. But if you got like a house system that's more on where they supposed to be, it play out more on a positive end for you than another person who will probably go through the same situation. Not all the time though, but just the certain like our regular shit we go through, like when it comes to government, job, or some shit like that, where you might not have to put in as much work as the average individual, especially the people who got Libra ascendant, everything backwards. So a lot of times it takes them to make mistakes first. So it'll be like them having the same life, but at the same time, they're more on a percentage scale of having to learn something first, other than it just being smooth. And then it's up for the person to make the kind of mistake after they're already in a better position if they had the Taurus, Aries, or the Pisces ascendant. But that's not the end all and be all, just from over my time that I kind of see certain things a little bit. And then everybody else be in limbo. So if you got like the between as the ascendant on both ends, the between the above the horizon or the between the below the horizon. So, you know, that'd be like the Scorpios, the Sagittarius ascendants, or the Cancer ascendants, the Gemini ascendants, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The Leo ascendants. You're like in limbo. These are the ascendants that create the balance. So it's like even on a percentage scale, and it's more up to them if they're gonna, depending on how they associate themselves, is they're gonna manifest more the percentage scale stuff going their way, and then it's up to them to make a mistake, or manifest more the percentage scale of things that they have to learn first before they get in that position, and things of that nature. And a lot of times, since it's always teamwork makes the dream work, it play out like this: the people on the opposite end that manifest have to learn and make a mistake from 9 times out of 10 interacting with the people on the other side that things go smoothly for first on a more percentage scale. Then it playing vice versa. Once the other end learn, they end up being in a situation where the person that had more of the positive energy realize that they're taking advantage in certain areas, and then they're not able to anymore. So it's still a teamwork makes a dream work. Ain't nobody better than like no one else. We always going to equalize each other, like in some way, shape, or form. We always going to equalize each other. So when the person in a positive position start to take a granted for it, that allowed a person who had to learn something from either that type of circumstance, a person to be up there. And then even when a person is on a negative end already, they're able to be in that position and show someone else what it means to be in the other position. And this is how we all we just all balance each other out. So everybody has their day, basically. That's how God made it. God made it that everybody had their day. So, but for the most part, though, Gemini in the 3rd house, just don't be so ready to create an argument based off somebody might deeply be passionately into their own shit and don't know how to make you comfortable being your friend by playing out the same role that they usually play when that shit wasn't on their mind. And they might not even think that's what's going on. So try not to build no unnecessary animosity if you on the positive end and people just like starting to distance a little bit. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Now, but if it's on a negative end, you're just gonna have some secret competition, secret hating, all kind of shit going on at this particular time. If you're around a whole bunch of reprobates, even from family and shit, or it ain't always got to be from family, because it hit more rooted when in the 4th house. But in the 3rd house, people like family and shit, it can be in there because it's just your environment in general. Your environment, your friends, the way you think, what you have learned from school, and how you apply these things. And all that start to resonate with the area of your 3rd house. Now, let's say you got Gemini in the 4th house. Now, this is now you might have a lot of pent up aggression or anger from family members, or you may have this too. Now, this may not necessarily have anything to do with you either, but at the same time, you probably a part of it. Like somebody might be mad because they got some type of situation, insurance, but you might be in part of the insurance, right? So it's not necessarily directed, but the indirect energy enough can cause an emotional reaction, or cause certain feelings to be felt a certain way, or animosity and things where you have to sit from a distance and be like, is this because of me? Or another person has to sit in a distance and be like, well, damn, is this because of me? Why this person is mad? And it's not directed, but it can be taken that way because of the involvement, the closeness. So that could be going on right now too, where there's like an underlying argument waiting to happen that doesn't necessarily have to be there, or some underlying privacy that needs to be had that may be a little hard to obtain. And there may be a fight put up for privacy, whether emotionally or even physically. There may be a fight put up for privacy within the home or something like that, or a fight to be put up for privacy within the mind. And you might have people like just bearing down on you because you want some type of peace in the mind or something like that. You don't need somebody double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking on you and shit like that, especially if you already know what for and shit like that. It ain't that deep. So you might have to cut somebody out or be a little bit aggressive at this time to have your little sense of peace, so it don't seem like you got somebody breathing down your neck even when they ain't around you personally and shit like that. That could become a little frustrating after a while, where you don't even feel like a person. You feel like somebody else's private owned property that you never accepted, and you don't remember them paying property taxes for and stuff like that. You don't remember y'all say you don't remember none of that. Like you start remember like, wait a minute, I don't remember no property taxes. I say you'll start like I say you gotta start thinking real good, especially for my females out there. So you got Gemini in the goddamn 4th house. You know what I'm saying? It might be that type of shit going on and shit. And then now you got to cuss a motherfucker out that you don't really mean to and shit like that. But shit, motherfuckers just start acting like that shit. You was a like property for so long. And in your mind, you start making sense. You watch my channel and stuff like that. You start thinking like, you start scratching your head. This motherfucker smack monkey trying to act like, making me feel like I'm their property. This takes property taxes. This take like, you know what I'm saying? This take like going down. So it take like a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So you start to see that shit. The homeboy can't own that property, but at the same time, you gotta think, right? You gotta really think real good, and at the same time, you know what I'm saying? That's how the 4th house might play out right now. You gotta cut somebody out and get your privacy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is a private lot right now. Some private lot right now. You know what I'm saying? You call the number when the office is open and shit like that. When you willing to pay property taxes. You know what I'm saying? Nice old sweet day, peaceful day after that. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Then when you answer the phone again, hey, motherfuckers come correct. They got the check for the property taxes. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know, everything's smooth now. Jumping out of the 4th house. Everything becomes smooth. You know what I'm saying? Everything becomes, hey, we stay in capitalism. We stay in America. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to make somebody look at you like we don't stay in America. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You got Trump up there, conservatism and stuff. About to be president. Hey, we got to get along with the go along. Shit. But yeah, I said the Gemini in the 5th house and the shit. Now, you got Gemini in the 5th house. Now, look, this is expressing yourself. Now, too rapidly, though. Now, you're going to get real courage, or you're going to have people around you that just got the power up. They got the mystical. Now, hopefully, they power up in the right areas, not with like mystical powered up for. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to power yourself up right in jail. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be justified for us to throw away the key. But for the most part, yeah, you're going to like feel this extra boost of energy. Like, man, I need to start talking because you're going to start living like it ain't no tomorrow when it comes to your passions, motivations, your desires, all that shit. You're going to start living like it ain't no tomorrow when it comes to open up your mouth. You're going to start looking at all the things you think you're not doing. And then you're about to start showing your ass and stuff like that. Now, make sure you're doing it in a good, healthy way. Because if you're doing it in a good, healthy way, that means you got a purpose. That means you got something worth talking about. Now, if you're just doing it in a damaged way, you're going to be like what everybody want to like not give the satisfaction to, not want to give attention to. And it's going to hurt your pride at this time because it's the 5th house. So you got to be careful. Oh, thank you so much for the donation. Universal code. I appreciate that. You said I've been out taking care of business, but I'm back, bro. You still kicking out. Yeah, we're going through the houses right now. We on the 5th house. So when you in the 5th house right now, it could be extreme Speedy Gonzalez. And I appreciate that from my heart, real shit. Extreme Speedy Gonzalez, where you feel like it's going to be no tomorrow unless you say something now, unless you do something now, unless you express something now. You know what I'm saying? In some way, shape, or form. And when it comes into now, you got to make sure you planting good seeds. If you planted bad seeds, you're going to get into a lot of fights right now because everybody wants the stage when it comes to your 5th house. So that's how you see it. So that's what you attract. So there's going to be a lot of other people that manifest for your area of your life that deals with how you see things and what you think people coming across, and people actually coming across like that, aka a fight for a stage, whether they got that in their 5th house or not. Just how you view things. Sometimes we get the wrong understanding about people when we're dealing with each area of our life. So for an example, the 5th house right now, and you got a planet there, whatever planet it is, or the transit it is, that's going to be the glasses at the moment. And that's how you're going to see it through the area of life. So you might jump into competing energy right now because you want to be heard, and everybody you around, you automatically think they're in the same mind state as you. So you may be a little timid or a little bit prejudging, and this can make you a little toxic and be entertaining the wrong shit at this time if you planting bad seeds and shit like that. Because with Mars there, it's going to put you in an energy of the 5th house wanting to express yourself, so you automatically gonna feel like everybody else is doing that too. So a person can be totally being themselves. In your mind, you calculating this. Oh, this person is doing this. This is their way to steal the stage, or this is their way to try to block, or they're only doing this because I'm acting like this. And then you gonna stay calculating in that type of mind state every time you're jumping in your passions, motivations, and desires. So be careful that you're not prejudging when you do jump into the Mars energy, because it's going to be playing out in your 5th house, and you may prejudge, get in some competition with some secret competition where you ain't really competing with no one but your damn self. That person ain't even thinking about it that way. And then if they get a light bulb on their head, here you go getting ready to make an enemy for no apparent reason. And you put yourself in a position of being able to be debunked or being able to be seen as wrong or something like that, or put yourself in a position where God gonna play more on that person's end to use them as a vessel so God can help you too. Make sure you make better decisions next time and know what battles to fight, and don't be picking those battles that don't have anything to do with nothing else but self-serving, because a lot of battles we be needing to fight be our own thoughts and feelings. And when we don't fight those, we use these to fight outwardly. And that puts us always in compromising positions. That's an example of lacking emotional intelligence. You don't know how to transmute your energy. You don't know how to direct it. And then that falls on deaf ears because you might not have a purpose. The purpose, or creating a purpose, is how that can get filtered. How you think R&B singers start smiling, laughing to the bank after they just made their coldest song that had nothing to do with nothing else but getting their heart broke? See what I'm saying? Now, that's an example of how you supposed to do it. Now they made their purpose music. Your purpose could be anything, even if it's music. But that's just an example. That person could have said, fuck it, not use their godly gift and talent, end up in jail trying to run somebody over with their SUV. But homegirl said, fuck that nigga. Homeboy said, fuck that bitch. But didn't even have to say that because they was with God. They went through the emotion, but God put them in a space of them caring more about their talent. So before they could even say, fuck that, bruh, they was in the studio and made something sound good. You know what I'm saying? Now, the millions of people in the world who went through similar situations don't mind buying that record. Now, this person's a millionaire and they can go and laugh to the bank and shit because they did their qualities the healthy, godly way. You know what I'm saying? So they wasn't in jail, they became rich. So that's just an example of transmuting when you're going through something negative. But if you don't got no purpose, you're going to allow your thoughts and feelings to dictate your actions. So you don't have emotional intelligence. But when you have emotional intelligence, things going to affect you, but you got a purpose where it can go. It could go into a healthier place. It could go into a better place. It could go into a better pocket. It could get you in your bag about something and shit. And that's how you always supposed to utilize even pain, trauma. You would take a lot of resentment that we all develop from our retarded ass parents and shit like that and all kind of shit. And God to make sure that we're the vessel to even wake these people up and shit like that. But we'd never be able to reach that plateau if we just get the baton passed to us, and the baton is a whole generational curse that weighs us down from winning any type of spiritual race. We'd never be able to beat the race and show everybody we're leaving behind this is the way to go about it and shit. So sometimes we got to put down the ego, sometimes we got to put down the ego, put down the trauma, and don't forget, forgive, don't forget. You know what I'm saying? Because forgetting, you become a fool. Forgiving, you become healthy. You know what I'm saying? So forgive, don't forget. So you don't want to become a fool because you will allow the same thing to happen to you again. You know what I'm saying? And when it's time to be a vessel and God may need you to even curse out and things of that nature, and God needs you to do it. So that's when it comes to not being a fool and don't forget. But forgive too. You know what I'm saying? Always put yourself in a position where you're not allowing that to be seen through the eyes of others. Like that's what you're living for, that negative energy or that guilt or that proven or that resentment. So all your actions and what you're doing is predicated off that resentment. You don't want to give no human that much credit, even if it's your goddamn parent. They're not that special. You need to understand that when God got you and this motherfucker shit, they kiss your ass. But when it comes into what God got for you, you don't want to live your life and dictate your actions based off whatever someone's mood is and how your mood is, and that's your way of they kiss your ass. Any person, place, or thing that puts you in that damn situation and shit when you with God. You know what I'm saying? And hear no evil, see no evil, and you only mind the business of God and things of that nature. These individuals, they won't have nothing to do but see you as a shining light and come up with their own ideas how they wrong. You know what I'm saying? But the more you add on to a person's narcissism or their self-serving energies, they're allowed to take that, like you're playing tit for tat. So you allow them to drag you in their world. So it allows them to mirror themselves, like they don't have to take accountability. So they can kind of justify all the negativity because they're interacting with someone just like them, so they don't have to feel so bad. No, you don't never want to play somebody else's role. You know what I'm saying? You always let them know you the higher, more spiritual authority person. They're childish. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, that's when you're being used as a vessel that a person will have to wake up to themselves, just seeing you be yourself as a light. A person will have to sit back and see themselves like they know they're wrong, and that's how God work on them. But when you fight a devil's game, you only become a demon. And you know, people, that's all people want to do is make other people demons, so they can feel good about themselves being a demon. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow no demon to put you in a situation that they can feel good about their witchcraft, because that's what it is. It's witchcraft. Crab in a bucket, that's like witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? Don't let no demon feel good about them being able to get away with their witchcraft. That's all it boils down to. They be really grinning and smiling inside as a spirit. Anytime they can get somebody down like them, that's their only way of getting juice. You know what I'm saying? You might be thinking they misery. Inside, they spirit be jumping for joy and shit like that. Misery love company. Man, they spirit be jumping for joy in this motherfucking shit. The outside, they be inside. I'm telling you, outside, inside. I'm telling you, you would think it's two different above the horizons going on. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. So yeah, you got to be careful. And then when you realize it, it's like, oh damn, this is always. It's not never a sense of happiness and jiggy and stuff like that. That's when you know that spirit inside just like that temperament. They like that negative temperament, and they can't wait to suck motherfuckers into it. And if they older than you, like older sibling, parent, grandparent, or just people in your life that you're aware of, trust me, you don't know the half. Man, they done took about 20,000 people they'd have known in their life before you came to be. And if it was your parent before you was born, man, then whatever you think you see and shit, people that's they peers, the same way you got peers, people your age and people you're around. Shit, it's probably people out here that ain't got nothing positive to say. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. There's probably people out here that got nothing positive to say about your auntie. Real shit, but it's deep out here. It get real deep. Not to say we need to shame our own family or anything of that nature, but you know that's the time even Capricorn put us in. Capricorn don't be playing when it comes to that parent energy and shit, or authority figure energy, or looking at the government energy and stuff like that. That Capricorn energy don't be playing. Real shit. You'll start looking at anything as, oh, yep, this the reason that's fucking with my money. Yep, this the reason that's something fucking with my money. This the reason. Yep, everything need to be condemned. No, I'm saying real shit. That Capricorn energy don't be playing. The first thing to get condemned is you start blaming people who raised you and stuff like it. Get deep. And so you start standing on business in all kind of esoteric ways. Anytime there's an alignment of Capricorn in the sky. Real shit. Trust me, I know my Mars is on the cusp. I got 29 degrees Mars Capricorn. This is on exalted. So it's that Aquarius and Capricorn energy. Trust me, I know all about it. My whole passion is to build a business, Capricorn, that could be associated with group efforts, Aquarius. Some new age shit. Soul group, subconscious community. You know what I'm saying? The perfect alignment to make up something like that. You know what I'm saying? The Mars 29 degrees Capricorn. Person extremely passionate to build on something that could change society in some new age way, new technology way. So online, even YouTube and shit like that. I created the way to be on YouTube. It's like no other way to be on YouTube for real. You know what I'm saying? So we in the completely new age though. But with all these energies and stuff, Mars, Mercury gonna be going in retrograde around the 4th of August and shit. So it's gonna be trickling back. A lot of previous narcissistic energies that you may have seen yourself in is going to be put in front of your face to see if it's the right decision to make or not. Should you do it right now or not? Whatever house you got Leo in, that's going to be the area of life your ego get played with and shit like that. So if you got Leo in the first house, Your personality, ego gonna get played with. If you got Leo in the second house, the things you give so much attention to that you claim you value, that's going to get played with. So if it's a person, place, or thing, you might have other people jump in to take their attention, or to use the object better, or to have a better gift that you start to secretly compete with. So you got to be careful of that too. When it comes to your ego getting played with and thinking that you may not be as valued as much. Third house, your ego gonna be played with when it comes to your friends. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cheating energy. You might have a friend that can't wait to fuck your partner, and you might start seeing your partner accepting it in some way, like weird signs, and you might feel like if you explode that you're tripping, you're the one tripping, so you're not going to explode. A lot of people might be in that kind of limbo at the moment with this Leo, and it's getting ready to go on retrograde Mercury, and playing out in your third house. Lot of love and hip hop shit type shit. A lot of love and hip hop type shit, where let me do this action to see if this specific person care type shit. You know what I'm saying? And it could be a lot of petty shit. It could be a lot of shit tit for tat, a lot of drama queen, drama king amongst friends, third wheel situations, all kind of situations. You know how that third wheel where you ain't know another person, you was aware of another person involved, and then y'all figure out all that kind of shit. Fourth house is going to be a lot of energies when it comes to your ego getting played with from family members or associates or co-workers and things of that nature, or people that not co-work but people that you're close with and shit like that. The ability to obtain privacy and shit, all that is going to get played with. um Fifth house and shit, that's gonna fourth house, your ego gonna get I said fourth house. Fifth house, your ego gonna get played with when it comes to the way you expressing yourself, what you entertain. People may talk down on the shit you be entertaining, like, or the shit that you feel good about, the shit that have you in youthful energies and shit. All that shit is gonna somebody might try to play with your ego, try to make it seem like, hey, that's dumb, why you express yourself that way. You know what I'm saying? Did I skip the fourth house? Home, family, try to play with your ego. Sixth house, work, manager, your routines gonna play with your ego. It might be stuff that you want to entertain that ain't got nothing to do with your disciplines and shit. So you might start not paying attention to your disciplines and shit because you feel like you want to have more fun, or you feel like you might want to enjoy yourself, and then you might look at your disciplines or the things that you're into as holding you back. So you in some type of situation where you might call off unnecessarily. You might do too much weird shit and things of that nature to make people feel like that you want to be more free, or you want people to feel you more and shit like that. So it might be a lot of situations where you might argue with people and create unnecessary drama queen, drama king situations. When it comes to your disciplines, you might blame other people while you're on certain responsibilities and routines and shit. And you might be like, oh shit, the only reason I'm in this type of discipline, or the only reason I have to do this is because of you, or if I ain't had to do like a lot of shit like that. So you want to be careful that you don't be too explosive, because it might not even play out at your job in the sixth house. It might play out as your people that you're close to, and you might start looking at your job like, man, this is blocking me from me doing what I want to do. And then you might start considering you only got that job because of people you around, or in some way, shape, or form. So you might start giving them weird energy, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like weird animosity and shit to make them feel like, whatever the case may be that you're trying to make up in your head, that if they stop having you in that type of expectation, you could go ahead and quit or not do that without the pressure of them looking at you in a certain way. Like with all that internal weird energy that, because Leo is weird sometimes. They just don't want to be embarrassed. Even in the seventh house, you know what I'm saying? You're going to experience a whole bunch of shit of your partner wanting attention in areas that they wasn't getting it before, and now you're trying to figure out what's going on now and shit. So if you're not doing things with them as far as what they're giving this new attention to, it might be a person. So you got to be careful of that too. With Leo in the seventh house, is there's a lot of people being narcs, and when it goes into retrograde, they start having to wonder and eye about previous shit. So motherfucker, y'all might have been got over something, and soon as it go into retrograde, here go a motherfucker can't get that off their mind now. It's like, damn, I thought we got over this shit. I thought we got over this shit. Like, why is this being your mood? So that could happen with Leo, and then when it get ready to go into retrograde, back into that 7th house where you got Leo at 8th house, it could be a situation where your pride get hurt. When it comes to your desires, some get exposed, some get put to the light that you was trying to keep in the dark. And even if it wasn't that negative, somebody make it appear to be negative, and now you got to fight, you got to compete, you got to have some weird passion that you wasn't ready for and shit. And to protect yourself from vulnerable circumstances and be seen a certain way and shit. And now you're going through transformations. So yeah, Leo don't really fuck with the 8th house like that. 9th house, you might be in a situation where your ego get hurt and your pride get hurt based on your knowledge, which you have to offer to the world, and your wisdom, and what you've been given advice or taking advice in your decisions. People trying to talk down on you based upon your decisions. People might try to compete with you with your spirituality, your religious aspects and shit like that. Like, it's just a whole bunch of crazy stuff that could go on. Like, a person to probably bring up something like, hey, you wasn't into that last month. Why you into that this month or something, and try to create other reasons why you just trying to expand your mind and shit like that. A whole bunch of Leo retrograde energies like unnecessary when it goes into retrograde. It ain't always gonna play out negative. I'm just saying what to be aware of, like the possibilities. 10th house, be in a goddamn situation where your pride get hurt because your status ain't in a certain place, or someone trying to take your status and your business or your career, or throw shade on it, throw shade on what you known for and how people see you and shit, so you don't go to the full maximum where you need to be. And I know I got that live stream on the other. I might do that a little earlier, so I go ahead and get that out the way so I can release this mixtape, because when I set that up, that's probably gonna interfere. Yes, I'm gonna debunk these cats early too. What time is it? Hebrew Israelites, probably around like 12. But for the most part, also getting into the aspect of the 11th house, you gonna witness a lot of your pride getting hurt based upon you realizing what you associated with mentally and physically, and how it might not be the right stage for what you're trying to do and what you're trying to set up for yourself, and you having to like argue with people, or people have to argue with you in some way, shape, or form, so y'all can get things clear, because Leo already in the opposite position here. So whoever you associate yourself with, kind of start on competing for who gonna be the leader type shit, or the lead singer. And then for the most part, 12th house, y'all gonna be in you might be in a situation where your ego or your pride get hurt when someone trying to talk down on your dreams that don't even seem like it's an illusion. It look like it could actually work. And then that's when you got to realize, no, you got people just trying to steal your dream or secretly compete with you, and they want to be seen in the light you're being seen as in your creativity. So they gaslight you, so you not to express your creativity around whoever y'all be around that y'all trying to impress. So yeah, you got to be careful with that too. But yeah, y'all stay spiritually protected. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna debunk them early and shit, so I can go ahead and release this mixtape too, so I can be free and shit like that, and be a little ratchet. Oh, I was gonna be a ratchet and crash out. But yeah, I love y'all from the bottom of my heart, real shit.